All right, but then we move on. Next up, we have Idno Interactive. They're the current guest office tenants at DevHub. And if you now think, what is guest office? Go to our website, find out. It's one of these programs we run, which is also a super cool program. They've also attended many of our playtest sessions, which is super fun. And their game looks incredibly cool. Like usually in the playtest sessions, there's like a crowd of people around their game. It's really pretty, and you will see it, I think, in this presentation. So, without further ado, welcome to the stage, Eric and Benjamin from Idno Interactive.
Test. Hello. All right. Thank you, Matti. Firstly, thanks to everyone at Game Habitat for allowing us to come up here and talk to you guys about what we've been up to. So I'm Eric. I'm Benjamin. This is Eric. And we're two students who've just started our studio called Idno Interactive. And we're gonna talk to you a bit about what happens if you spend about a year thinking about rocks in grids.
Yeah, so what happens is a game we call Swap. So Swap is a grid-based puzzle game where the main mechanic is that you can switch place with puzzle elements when you look at them. So for example here, I'm switching place with a rock, using a bit of magic. The game entirely takes place in a grid. So even though we try to make the controls of the character feel very fluid, you're always in a very discrete grid state. Like you have a direction in one of the axes and a position. And this allows for very tight puzzles, in our opinion. Another important thing is that the game does take place in 3D, and it will require thinking in the third dimension to solve some of the puzzles. So in this example, you will need to go up the staircase and fall down in order to make the crucial swap to later on solve the puzzle.
So the game is set in a large interconnected world with many different areas to explore. And we also put in some cool secrets for you to discover. But the main gameplay, like the main focus of the game, is still the puzzles. And we're really kind of very careful about how we design them and really think a lot about, for instance, we don't want players to feel cheated after having solved the puzzle. So when you're presented with a puzzle, we want you to have all the tools at your disposal to solve the puzzle there.
Yeah, and if it's not hard enough to create a puzzle game as a small indie studio, we also do it in our own engine. So all of the rendering you've seen so far is in our own engine. We've created all of the tooling ourselves as well. It's written in Rust. And well, we've invested a lot of time in creating the level editor to make it as seamless as possible for us to use. So of course we want to include it in the game as well for the players to create games, create puzzles and share with each other.
Thank you, we're not completely done.
Yeah. Yeah, so lots of cool tech. For example, we have an approximation of global illumination using probes. This is probably the coolest rendering tech in the engine. So, for example, you can see a bit of red light coming here from bounces and a little bit of green light from the other one. Who needs lumen, right? Yeah. And of course, to make the grid puzzling experience as pleasant as possible, we have an interactive water simulation. Yeah, so that's crucial for a puzzle game.
Necessity for any grid-based puzzler.
Yeah. So if this game looks interesting to you, you can scan the QR code to join our Discord and follow the development. We don't have a demo publicly yet, but we have brought a small version of the game tonight. So after the community spotlight, if you want to play it, just come up to us. Yeah, thanks.
All right, thanks.